What's going on, everybody? C4, welcome back to the channel, and today we're here for a new Madden 22 realistic rebuild. And as I voted on by you guys in the last realistic rebuild with the New Orleans Saints, I am going with the Minnesota Vikings. 3-5, we're starting live here at week 10. I did not think of the Minnesota Vikings. I was trying to think of, like, what team am I going to rebuild? What team are these guys going to vote on? Vikings were not near the top of the list. Loaded up, they're 77 overall. I did not think their roster was this low in terms of overall. So this is going to be a very good rebuild. I will just say right now, today is the 10th of November. There is allegations right now against what is most likely to be the most important player in this rebuild, Dalvin Cook. Domestic abuse seems he said, she said on both sides of the argument. And all we're going to say is, as I'm recording this, Dalvin Cook's still an active member on the Minnesota Vikings. And that's how we're going to treat it. Things could obviously develop over the next coming week or 2 weeks or something like that. But as it stands right now on the 10th, he's still on the Vikings. He said, she said. No legalities coming through just yet, so he's going to be a very important player for our rebuild. Now going to the not sad news. Let's take a look at the draft classes here. Let's get it in and preview the roster. Let's see what kind of rebuild we have in store. So I will say also, for my draft classes, I'm getting ready to do a substantial update. There's not a lot that needs to be done, but like, we've been avoiding Spencer Rattler in the draft class. He's not going to go in 2022. He's probably not even going to be at Oklahoma anymore. So there does need to be some updating to the players and overalls, and just like a ratings refresh and projections refresh. And I'm going to try to get to it this weekend. I don't know when this video is coming out to you guys. What day is today? Wednesday. Recording on Wednesday, Thursday. I don't know. But there's, I would say at worst, there'll be one more rebuild that doesn't have like an updated draft class. I mean, this isn't too bad. I mean, you look at the top players right now, seems, pretty good still for the most part, but there always can be a little bit of updates, especially for the 2023 class. So that is coming. And then this is an interesting team. Like, I always like starting these rebuilds with an idea of what players I want to target. And for the Minnesota Vikings, obviously there's questions at quarterback, but, other needs, like what year do we get a quarterback? How do we improve the quarterback situation? Are we going to be able to rely on Kirk Cousins to bring this team to a Super Bowl? Probably not. I'm probably more concerned about getting rid of Kirk Cousins' ugly contract. But I'll say this as an outsider. Kirk Cousins, I don't hate Kirk Cousins. He was in the NFC East for some time, for sure, right, with Washington. But he's not I don't know. He's probably I think there's an argument he's probably the most polarizing quarterback in the NFL. Because it just seems like, obviously, there's that notion that he can't play in primetime games, but it feels like you'll see Kirk Cousins throw 1 touchdown, 3 picks in a big game, and then we'll have 2-3 weeks where he's getting 4 or 5 touchdowns every single week. So it's I don't know. If you he's probably the number 1 quarterback. Or if you is he good? I don't know if I have an answer for it. I can tell you from a rebuild standpoint, he's 33, very expensive, and he's not going to be better. Also, you have someone here in Kellen Mond, who I think is a very intriguing project quarterback. I don't think that was a bad selection at all for the Minnesota Vikings. I wish I could say I saw any of them playing in the preseason. I feel like he had maybe a couple big plays, something like that I would have saw on YouTube potentially. But again, it just kind of like Kyle Trask on Tampa. Really, really tough to see Kellen Mond being the successor here. Just a lot going against him. The rating's not particularly good. You'd have to luck into a dev trait sooner than later. So ultimately, the most important spot here on Minnesota is very unstable, and we're going to have to find that sense of stability at that quarterback spot. How we do that is going to be very important in this rebuild. Now we have the running backs. Dalvin Cook, one of the best running backs in the NFL for sure. 95 superstar X Factor. He's only 26. So for a 5-year rebuild, absolutely he's going to be here for all 5 years. Madison is one of the better backup running backs in the NFL. 77 with a star dev. So I think there actually could be some validity. Actually, we're past the trade deadline, aren't we? I was like, that could be a potentially decent trade piece. And then you have Wangwu, Kene Wangwu, actually in real life had his big kickoff return for a touchdown against, who did they just play last week? Last week was it Baltimore? Who did they just lose to? He had a kickoff return for a touchdown. It was sick. Yeah, it was the Ravens. We've talked about him before on the channel as one of the more underrated, overpowered rookies. Because 6 feet 210, 94 speed. 95 acceleration. That's pretty terrifying, to be completely honest with you. But ultimately, the running back room is Gucci. No suspensions or anything like that right now. They have Ham, sure, fullback. That'll be something, like, I think fullback is a position you tend to ignore in rebuilds. Like, once your fullback goes out, you just don't have fullbacks. But, Vikings use their fullback a lot, so it will be a position that we kind of prioritize. I feel like some teams in the sim, maybe if you don't have a fullback, they're just not going to play as well. You're missing that vital piece, like if you're the 49ers and you moved off from Juszczyk and didn't replace him. So I am going to be considerate of that with Vikings, be it CJ Ham or someone else. We will always try to have a decent fullback on the roster. At wide receiver, you got Justin Jefferson, obviously insane rookie season. 88 superstar, should be a Philadelphia Eagle, not a Philadelphia Eagle. We got Jalen Reagor, who's obviously the superior playmaker right now, but it's still young in the career. Justin Jefferson, plenty of football left to surpass Jalen Reagor from that 20. Oh, I don't even want to talk about it, but he's amazing. You have Thielen, the veteran. He's still really good. I think he's borderline underrated at this point. All he does is catch touchdowns. Great connection, great rapport with Kirk Cousins. So we have two really good wide receivers. The thing with Thielen, though, is that he is already starting to regress. 87 superstar at 31. That does bode well if he wants a new 4 or 5 year contract, something stupid like that. But we will try to ride him into the ground because worst case scenario, you move him to a slot. He could be we're not gonna typecast here, but definitely feels like Thielen has a skill set that would excel in the slot as he ages. They got D.D. Westbrook. I mean, they have definitely struggled to find that third wide receiver option since they got rid of Stephon Diggs. Westbrook's probably not it. B.C. Johnson's okay. Osborne's okay. Smith-Marset was a pretty good burner at Iowa, but ultimately, we got to find a role there for a third wide receiver. Tight ends, you got Irv Smith Jr. I think he has a star dev, which is good. 75 star dev, so let's develop him into a legitimate tight end one. Rest of the tight ends ain't anything special. Offensive line, Darisaw was their first round pick out of Virginia Tech. 72 with a hidden dev. Yes, sir. I will take young dev trait linemen every day of the week in rebuilds. Those are not particularly fun to find and hard to find in drafts. They have Ezra Cleveland left guard, 71, dev trait as well. Garrett Bradbury at center, 77, dev trait, yes sir. Let's keep going. Right guard, not too great. They got Wyatt Davis, who actually I thought he got kind of dogged on his rating there a little bit. I don't know if he's actually been good for the Vikings, but I thought he was a pretty damn good guard coming out of Ohio State. I thought he was a top 5 guard in that class, if not top 3. I just don't really know. At this point, that's quite a big discrepancy. I think either way, looking at these two ratings, we probably need a right guard. Right tackle, we got Brian O'Neill, one of the better underrated tackles in the league, 80 with a star dev. So, everything outside of really right guard is set and forget, I hope, for this rebuild. Defensively, you have Hunter, who's very good, 89, superstar X Factor. I always get him in my IDP leagues as a defensive lineman if I can't get, your Myles Garrett and stuff like that. He's an absolute hoss. Very important, 26, 5-year rebuild. Yes, sir. Right defensive end, you have Everson Griffin coming in, the veteran. DJ Wanham, I thought, was pretty solid last year as a rookie out of South Carolina, but definitely need to find another partner in crime next to Daniel Hunter for the longevity of this rebuild. You have Michael Pierce, Dalvin Tomlinson, my boy Jalen Twyman. Oh, what a bad pro day. But inside, Pierce 28, 27 for Tomlinson. Might need to think about getting younger, year 4, year 5, somewhere in that range, but it's solid for the time now. Linebacker core of Anthony Barr. That's actually a lower rating than expected. 79 star dev is 29. So he's probably, at his ceiling in Madden 22, which is a little unfortunate. Middle linebacker, you have Eric Kendricks, who's one of the best linebackers in the NFL. 89 superstar, but much like Barr, he's 29. He definitely regresses. You see him on free agent, in the heap of veterans that are just sitting there in free agency, probably year 2, year 3, and he's low 80s. So we will be conscientious of handing out a big contract, but let's enjoy him while he's here. And then you have Vigil there. So linebacker, low-key, could be a position we want to key in on because our 2 best linebackers are only going to get worse. Unfortunately, it's just the state of Madden. Secondary is not good. We talk about quarterback. My God, we need corners. Dantzler, 72. Do we have any devs? Oh, there we go. Dantzler, 72, star dev. Okay, we can work with that. Brashad Breeland, no. I don't think Alexander would have one either. 79. He's a solid slot corner. Secondary, yes, need big time out. Free safety of Xavier Woods coming up for the Dallas Cowboys, 76. Actually, is an upgrade here. Can we make him a scheme fit? No, but I think that's 77. Pretty sure he has a star dev trait. So that, he's only normal. Okay, well, that combined with one of the better safeties, one of the best safeties in the NFL, Harrison Smith, a 91 superstar. But again, 32. This is a team that, a lot of the best players are not great age range for a rebuild. Do they have all their picks? Yeah, okay, we got 2. Yeah, nice. We got our first. This is actually really intriguing. I'm glad you guys picked it. Outside the Dalvin Cook noise right now. Very, very interesting. Considering Kendricks, Pierce, Harrison Smith, Adam Thielen, Kirk Cousins. Like, this is a roster that if you're like, ranking the most important players on this roster, half the top 10 are like not really sustainable for a 5-year deal. So this is going to be a fun one. Let's see what we could do to get Minnesota, whatever curse they have, break it in 5 years and find a way to win them a Super Bowl. Ooh, this is kind of cool. Year 1, Cam Dantzler, star dev corner, has an opportunity here against the Detroit Lions. If our defense plays well or he does decent things, he could go up to a superstar dev just like that. So let's go live. Lions look for their first win of the year. Obviously, we'll probably slip up. It's a sim. No, we do win. Come on, Dantzler. Come on, Dantzler. Yes! Hold me closer, Cameron Dantzler. Let's go, man. Superstar dev. We got like 5,000 XP. 8,000. Just like that, we have ourselves a franchise corner year 1. All right. I'm motivated. Since I've been here in Minnesota, they lost to the Ravens. We are 4-1. And some quality victories. Pittsburgh, 49ers, Chargers. Those are tough wins. So we are looking to make a late playoff push here in what could be one of the final years of Kirk Cousins. I mean, this is still like a winning window for the Minnesota Vikings. Don't let that 79 overall fool you. This is a roster we highlighted with some of the veterans. They're trying to win. They're trying to compete. But we got some contracts here. I almost kind of forgot about this. Players that needed to get re-signed. And luckily, there's not a lot of crazy contracts that need to get handed out. More so, it is depth at this point. Conklin does have a star dev, but we don't really need 2 tight ends. Have Irv Smith there. Feel like I want to see how much money we have. Not bad. There's wiggle room there, around $50 million with a salary cap. I think Woods is kind of worthy of a contract, but also with that, 77, there's no dev trait there yet. Maybe we wait till the offseason to see if he does achieve a dev trait. If not, maybe the open market, there could be an upgrade there at free safety. Same with the Alexander. Anthony Barr, I feel like you're almost paying for name value at this point. 79, star dev. Look, he's already regressing, and he's looking for a 3-year deal, over $10 million a year. Just a little too expensive for my blood. We're not losing. I almost feel like every week we just gotta be like, hey, we're not losing. We have Dalvin Cook, just masterclass there, $159, 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 receiving touchdowns, 4 touchdowns on the day. Let's just see. We're not gonna lose because I'm going live. We're gonna find a way to beat the Rams. Very talented team. Shit. And we actually win Week 18 over the Bears to finish 9-8, and we squeak into the playoffs. We have got to be the 7th seed. I would be shocked if we're not. We were. The last team to squeak into the playoffs is the Minnesota Vikings. Did not really expect that, considering we had 3 wins when we started this. Oh, but hey, 9-8, second place in the North, and we've been able to punch our ticket to the playoffs. Let's look at our stats here. Obviously, most of these, or at least half of these, were in current NFL landscape. Brady going for 50 touchdowns, because of course he would do that. I love seeing Daniil Hunter second in sacks with 16. Just knowing that he got a lot of those with us. I don't think he's on pace for a crazy year right now. I think he's been hurt, banged up a little bit. Kirk Cousins, 4,200 yards, 32 touchdowns, 9 picks. That says to me, don't have to get a quarterback this offseason, honestly. Running the ball, 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns for Dalvin Cook. Pretty solid, considering he did miss some games. How many games did he actually miss this year? Like 2 or 3. Madison was able to fill in. Ultimately, though, going forward, now it's going to be straight sim. I need Dalvin Cook to play like the Alvin Kamaras, the Christian McCaffreys of the world. I need, up and around 20 rushing touchdowns a season. Receiving, we got 1,000 yards and 6 for Jefferson, 1,010 for Thielen. Not much else there, which kind of attests to the fact, well, obviously, Irv Smith has been hurt. But we need that 3rd receiving option on this roster. That is a goal of us to try to improve the squad. Eric Kendricks, dominant year, 139 tackles, 5 sacks, 4 interceptions, 9 TFLs, 16 sacks, 13 TFLs from Daniil Hunter. Very good. Solid year from the veteran Everson Griffin. Michael Pierce, those are pretty good numbers for a nose tackle. Same with Dalvin Thompson. On the interception front, 7 picks for Xavier Woods. The price just went up. There's no way I'm getting that guy for whatever the hell that contract was. But we are going to now try to re-sign him. Dantzler up to a superstar, got 2 interceptions. Wow. Like, they need to add just a thing in Madden right now where I can just negotiate. I want to re-sign this guy right now. I don't want to wait for him to go up to a star dev. I want to re-sign him right now. Yearly awards MVP went to Thomas Brady. In the NFC, Offensive Player Brady, Shaq Barrett, Justin Fields, Ojolari, Brady, Kamara, Cup, Zach Martin. Daniil Hunter is the best defensive linemen in the division. Wow, Xavier. Imagine if they had both of the Cowboys. Actually kept with it. But yeah, Woods really, really good there. Gonna have to. I think at this point he's definitely gonna go up a depth rate, right? There's no way he does it. Did he even make the short list? He did it right there. Look at that. Second in interceptions. We are going. I mean, Mike Zimmer is a defensive-minded coach. Gets the best out of his secondary. And, well, we just remember, I'm going to be shocked if it's going to be anything less than like a $5 million increase on what it's going to cost us to try to even just attempt to get Woods. We only have one option now. Oh, come on, C4, man. I botched that. There's no other way around it. We got the playoffs here. Again, no one's really given me a good reason to super sim versus just straight up simming in this menu. Whether there's a pro or con. I'm just conspiracy theory when you go into super sim. Weird things happen. So let's just take it at face value. Can we beat the 13-4 Dallas Cowboys in the wild card? Kirk Cousins puts on a masterclass, and he does! 27-17. Down go the Cowboys as we take on the Cardinals. What do we got here? Kirk Cousins was clean. 176 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ran the ball very well, over 200 yards rushing, 160 for Dalvin Cook. D.D. Westbrook and Wang Wu had touchdowns there. Anthony Barr, 2 TFLs. Got no sacks, no turnovers, anything like that. But just stacking them. Couldn't hang with Kirk Dirt. All right, we got 15-2 Cardinals. Tough assignment. Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, J.J. Watt. I don't think the Watt injury would have taken place yet. So, I mean, hey, we didn't even expect to make the playoffs. We barely scraped in the playoffs, and we're in the NFC Championship game. 27-24. What is going on? Well, I hope I found something that you could just sim and not super sim to get better results. We didn't really stop Kyler Murray. I guess it's just we endured. I'm going to guess big game for Dalvin Cook, 100 yards and a touchdown, almost 200 yards rushing. Again, big games from our top 2 wide receivers. Defensively, sack and a half, Danielle Hunter, no turnovers, but we're a game away from the Super Bowl. We got the Green Bay Packers ahead of us. Mr. I did research Aaron Rodgers and the 13-4 Packers. It's not going to be an easy game. Playoff Rob. Let's do this press conference right here. Let's see what they're saying. Let's see if we can add a little spice. I think it's going to be a hard chess match. Let's go chess match. We're not going to win throwing the lumber. We're going to have to outsmart Aaron Rodgers. And I think if we just post something on Facebook about our game plan, he's going to read that. He's going to think he figured us out. And we're going to be able to find a way to get the Super Bowl. 9-8 Vikings, 80 overall. What? What is going on? We got to see what 35-31. Like, do I play the Super Bowl? Super Bowls have been few and far between in this Rebuilds. If we can get a Super Bowl year 1, this would go down as 80 overall. I've not made Super Bowls with my teams in year 5 when they're like 94 overall. 3 touchdowns, no picks for Kirk Cousins. Didn't even really run the ball particularly well. Justin Jefferson, 91 yards and a touchdown. Defensively, Kendricks, 11 tackles. Sack for Michael Pierce. Interception there. Okay. Honestly, I'm playing the Super Bowl. I got to see what's going on here. This is tough. I think I want to play the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, so we play with house money for the remaining 4 years. But I also just want this sim dream team to continue. I don't know. Maybe we just play the moments. Still have. I don't want to because we'll play the moments and I'll hop in. If we have a chance at winning, I will. But I still want to heavily rely on the sim because it is only year 1. That'll be where I'm at. And then come year 5, if we don't win another Super Bowl, don't even make another playoff appearance, I'm gonna rue this decision. But looking at our squad, dev traits, nothing on offense, defense. The only one I'm expecting is Xavier Woods. 7 interceptions, and he did not go up dev trait, so that's awesome to know that copy and paste bug has continued, that, interceptions don't have really any influence over DBs. It is still tied to tackles. That is an assumption, but I think that is a fair assumption at this point, and I'm not going to forget the 7 picks. I don't care about the dev trait. Woods excels in this scheme, and maybe he's going to be still kind of cheaper because there's no dev trait attached to him there. But we have the Chargers. Justin Herbert, Super Bowl Media Day, sure. Vikings trying to break the curse. You have a chance to. How are you handling the pressure? We are absolutely embracing the pressure. No one expected us to be here. We've gone on a ridiculous run. We got 10 staff points because we believe in our staff. It is now time to do the impossible. Year 1, Minnesota Vikings started with 3 wins, and we are now in the freaking Super Bowl. I will say this. Like, there's a logic for me as a creator. Where it's like, if we win the Super Bowl now, I got to figure out how to hook you guys into, like, watching the remaining 4 years. That's difficult, right? That's difficult. But also, I think this would just go down as, like, you need just randomness like this to happen every now and again. So it's not just losses. Like, out of nowhere, it kind of just proves how random the sim can be in Madden. Where it's like, okay, we have a solid team with Minnesota. Like, I was shocked that they're only a 77 overall roster with the pieces that they have. But to go on and win the Super Bowl, year 1, that would, we're going to hop in this drive anyways. That would be up there with, like, the top 10 most random rebuild wins. And we're talking about it too much, so I know we're going to lose it now for Madden. It's like, we'll throw that out of bounds there. You need a really good running back to be efficient in winning rebuilds. Maybe that's the winning. That's like the recipe to winning in Madden 22 Sim. Have that X Factor running back. Punt. All right, they stopped us, and now we have a 3rd down alert. Sure. I feel like this is what I'm going to do. I'll play the moments, offense and defense, as they present themselves, which still opens a lot of room for error to this team, for them not to get burned, and for me just not to have opportunities to hop in on offense. And then you just get kind of stuck behind the 8 ball there a little bit. That's a good. I did my job there, and now we have red zone. Let's go, Dalvin Cook. Get your blocks. Run over that. Yeah, they're tough to run against. I'll give them that. Third and goal. I don't want to sit. Get him. Come on. Just like one. I got to go for it, man. We got Dalvin Cook. 1 yard to go. For the love of God. Dive. I don't trust. We haven't got. It's like one of those things where you haven't gotten the first 3 plays. What makes you think you're going to get on the 4th play? I just believe in Dalvin Cook. I just believe in Dalvin Cook. That's all you got to do. Unless recent social media allegations go against him, and then you can't believe Dalvin Cook. Jesus Christ. All right, defense does a job. Hell yeah, we're rocking and rolling here ahead of the 2-minute warning. Well, I don't know why they're trying to call a pass. We have Dalvin Cook. We're just going to continue to run the ball, control the clock, make sure the Chargers don't touch this ball on offense till whenever they get it in the second half. They go to the red zone. They need help on 3rd down. I can do that. 3rd and 3. Yeah, let's not be too creative here. Just run it with Dalvin Cook. He is our offense. Oh, that's going to be close. Did they give it to us? They should have been. That's 3 yards. Don't show me inches because I'm going to go for it on 4th down again. Give me that 1st down. What? Don't think so. 4th and inches? Don't think so. We got Ham in there, fullback, one of the few teams that still utilize a fullback. Here's why. He's going to get us a big block, and we're going to stiff arm our way in for another touchdown. You know how you lose Super Bowls in the sim? Is not going for it on 4th and inches on the 2-yard line. You bring me in for a key moment, I'm going to secure. Okay, we gave it that late field goal. I don't like that. That was frustrating, but I am very impressed with our defense for the most part. Red zone. Look, not once could this team, I will say that is very frustrating if I was watching this, is that not once were they able to finish off a drive. I've had to come in every single time. And there we go. Little slant there, Justin Jefferson. So there could, I'm not going to say there's going to be an asterisk because I'm letting a whole lot of randomness happen in between our touchdowns. But not once has our team converted a drive. It's all, I'm coming in on third down stalls and shit like that. Would have been nice to see them just dominate. Heavy sim. But that's okay. We can make this kick. 36. What do we got? Greg Joseph. Does he have much of a leg? No, we're going to go for it. We're going to go slants. We're going to line up slants. They're going to go, oh my God, they're going to run at us. And I'm going to audible to a Dalvin Cook run because he hasn't let us down all game. And it's Dalvin Cook. Let's go, baby. Another third down. We're still not pulling that far ahead that I'd feel comfortable. Let's try to do this. Justin Jefferson looks pretty juicy. I don't know who that is. Who's that? D.D. Westbrook. One point was like maybe the best wide receiver in college when he was at Oklahoma, and then just went to the Jags and kind of stuck. Can we get this? There we go on the 1 yard line. We are winning the first Super Bowl in Vikings history, year one, with their current roster. Imagine right now, you tell Viking fans right now, it gets better. All right, wherever you're at, you just lost to the Ravens. You guys are going to have Kirk Cousins, Xavier Woods, not the wrestler, gets 7 picks. You're going to have Daniil Hunter, second in the league in sacks, and you're going to find a way to go to the Super Bowl and beat Justin Herbert and the powder blue Chargers. Playing with house money for the remainder of the rebuild. It must be the Gatorade drip right here. The Gatorade drip works wonders. This is going to be like one of those things. Every, like, if we go like a string of like 2 rebuilds without a Super Bowl, I'll get the Gatorade drip here. It's good luck. And now I'm going to hook you guys for the remainder of the video. We got 5 years. I think building the dynasty. I mean, this Super Bowl win definitely buys Kirk Cousins another year, maybe even 2 years. Maybe it's going to go past his shelf life because of the Super Bowl. That happens to most teams, right? Trust me, as a Philadelphia Eagle fan, how many of those players from that 2017 Super Bowl victory, which I can now talk freely because I know it's a bad Band-Aid to open up that wound for Viking fans, but I just won you a Super Bowl, so I can bring that up. But that 2017 Eagles team, there were so many players. Alshon Jeffrey, maybe even Carson Wentz to an extent. You had Jason Peters. You had Nigel Bradham. These guys that, like, you thought they were still good, or at least the front office thought they were still good because of that Super Bowl year, and it clouded their judgment. And maybe that's the adversity that we're going to have here. I think more often than not, and I'd say in this, we're going to have a mini rebuild. We just won a Super Bowl. But still, this is still a roster that's very old. It's going to have some turnover coming up. So now that we have house money, a successful rebuild of the book, we have 4 more years to either rebuild this team, maintain it as a dynasty, or prepare for life as a mini rebuild, maybe year 2, 3, or 4, so that we can come back around and win another Super Bowl before year 5. So for re-signing players, I think it is paramount that with that 7 interceptions that Woods had, that we at least extend an offer. We have almost $29 million for the salary cap. Of course, things about to go up dev trade. I'm not too concerned about that, but 3 years for Woods, especially if you're going to play better than this rating, we'll give you a little bit of extension. 3 years, 13.2. Got him locked up, not overly concerned. Even though DD had a hell of a catch there, at this point, no, we don't got a crazy amount of money. So let's make sure whatever money we can have, we can apply in free agency to maintain and defend this Super Bowl title. So for our free agency period, had to make the most of roughly around $30 million. And actually, I'm kind of excited if we can land all of our targets. Familiar faces here, year one, guys like that. Not really what we're looking for. But I got Carlton Davis at corner, formerly of the Tampa Bay Bucks, 83 star dev to come in with Dantzler, who hopefully is going to just become the next great lockdown corner. DJ Chark, wide receiver. I think him and Justin Jefferson on the outside with Thielen in the slot. It's a good complementary wide receiver room. We got Bassett kicker, and then I'm looking at Austin Corbett at right guard. A lot of other competitive offers, but we land him. That means everyone on our offensive line is like 26 and under, all with dev trades. So that's pretty much like a set and forget for this offensive line for the remainder of the rebuild, which is just really good, not worrying about having to hit on linemen, especially once we get to years 3, 4, and 5, where the generate draft classes just don't really have much in terms of good linemen. Okay, we didn't get Corbett. Sure, why wouldn't you want to come play for the defending Super Bowl champion? We did get DJ Chark. We did get Carlton Davis. Still waiting on the kicker. I mean, worst case scenario, we don't get the kicker. That's fine. But we did get our 2 big free agents. Happy with that. So for our 3 private workouts, knowing that we have the last pick in the draft, it's going to be tough to try to be like, well, who's still going to be there at the end of the round? We hit on our wide receiver, so I'm not super worried about that. Could use a lineman for sure. Like, just, again, get that right guard spot set and forget. So we have Sawyer there. Probably worth doing that. Kwanu could be available. I don't think Kenyon Green usually goes around top 10, which he should. Linderbaum could shift to guard. I'm not overly worried about that. You have Sean Ryan. Most people do think he's going to project better as a guard. Again, don't know if he's going to be there at the end of the first round, which is unfortunate. Thinking of the defense, you know, we need a pass rusher. So, like, who's going to be sneaking around there at the end of the first round? That is a scheme fit. I mean, Hutchinson, all these guys are pretty much locks to go high. Hutchinson, that's actually a little bit low. I thought more people would not have him as at least the number 3 ahead of Harrison. Maybe we'll go with Sanders. He could still be there. So that's what we do. We go 2 guys in the line and then 1 defensive end. I want to hit on one of these guys. All right, a blessing and a curse. Having to wait till pick 32 to see who's available. So coming into this, we're looking for a guard. I think we could use a pass rusher. We could use a linebacker, kind of BPA in that kind of range. Even a corner. And look at that corner is the fact that Kaiir Elam is there from Florida. You usually have a fairly good gauge on Florida corners. He's good. He's probably one of the better ones I've seen, especially for skills that will transition to the next level. So that's an excellent pick. Look at the linebackers that are available. These are kind of rush backers, not exactly what we're looking for. Nakobe Dean's still there. Maybe Devin Lloyd on the turnaround. 2-3. He's going to be a guy that gets some probably big time loving in the next draft class update. He right now, like, second round, you know, he might sneak into the first, the way that people are talking about him. Teoto's there. What do we got in terms of pass rushers? Jermaine Johnson, Egnagberry from South Carolina, Zach Carter, Florida. We got Barn. Okay, so we missed the run here on legitimate, like, I feel confident selecting this guy. As far as a pass rusher, we have Kennard, fringe first rounder. Sawyer, we did do some scouting on him on the offensive line. The question comes now, does he have a dev trait? Honestly, at this point, I like Elam. I think he's the best player available, and we could solidify our secondary. I think he, obviously gambling a dev trade at this point, but 6'2", 195, can play on the outside, can play in the slot. Sure, big slot. Hidden dev, that's the most important thing at this point. Hit on those dev traits. Elam, welcome to Minnesota. Makes up for the last, Mike Hughes. Last first-round corner, didn't work out. Nice, the second round, he's still here. I don't know about dev trait, but he's a hell of a player. Needs some more linebacking help. Devin Lloyd, yes! That's all you need, man. Every year, get 2 hidden devs, and it's going to go down to successful draft. I was almost fully expecting not to hit on a hidden dev, but Devin Lloyd, very, very good for Utah, and that is an outstanding value for the Minnesota Vikings, especially moving on from Anthony Barr. Get a guy right away that come in and try to replace him. Let's grab the highest-rated guard right now, Zion Johnson from Boston College. He has a lot of hype right now. I think I just read Dane Brugler's top 50 players in college. He was in the 30s, so maybe I'm sleeping on here just a little bit. Normal dev guard, interested to see what his base rating is. So draft recap time. Hit on our first players, but now it's time to see the overalls. We got the devs, that's what we want. Kaiir Elam, 74, hidden dev corner. Excellent to throw in that with Carlton Davis into our secondary. Devin Lloyd, middle linebacker, 70 with a hidden dev. I think I'm going to shift him here to at least one of the outside linebacker spots. I know we have an opening at left. Because we might be able to go Devin Lloyd, Kendricks, and maybe like Chaz Surratt as our linebacking core. But ultimately, Devin Lloyd was coming in to replace Anthony Barr. He's gone up in overall points, 71 hidden dev. Zion Johnson, 68 normal. We have a punter, Camarda from Georgia. Very good punter, maybe the best punter in college, 69. He's going to start right away. Trey Berry, the Jacksonville State transfer to Boston College, 64 depth at tight end. Eisworth from Iowa State, safety, 65 depth. And then we got depth corner in Noah Daniels from TCU, but 2 hidden dev playmakers right away. Exactly the kind of hits you want as we look to defend our Super Bowl title in year 2 of this rebuild. Year 2, Minnesota Vikings looking to defend their Super Bowl crown. Not a lot of drastic changes have been had. Offensive line remains the same. Skill position starters remain the same, minus DJ Chark coming in as a outside playmaker for us so we can shift Adam Thielen kind of into retirement, into the slot there a little bit. We still got Kirk Cousins. He won the Super Bowl. He had 30 touchdowns. Let's see if we can do that again. Some sort of Kirk Cousins wizardry, Kirk Cousins magic. Defensively, Moving on, no more Everson Griffin. We're going to go DJ Wanham there. Linebacking core, no more Anthony Barr, but luckily enough, we were able to hit on Devin Lloyd out of Utah in the draft. He is going to play considerable minutes. Danzler hit on the superstar dev last year, which was insane. Landed Carlton Davis in free agency. Drafted Kyer Elam at the bottom of the first round. And still probably the most shocking thing on this defense is Woods had 7 picks last year and is still sitting on a normal dev. That needs to be fixed. That needs to be reworked. But ultimately, I don't know what to expect. I have no idea. We could very well have some sort of winning formula and go back in the playoffs again. We also could have 6 wins. It wouldn't surprise me. So let's see just what the hell happens here in year 2 of the Madden 22 Minnesota Vikings realistic rebuild. So for draft prospects this year, again, we kind of know the make of our roster. It's going to be interesting to pay attention to the quarterbacks just because, if we do have a stinker of a year and Kirk Cousins has a stinker of the year, got $30 million. We could probably loosen up there at that quarterback spot if we can move on. One of these rebuilds, we're going to have a chance getting one of these 3. Very excited for one of those, especially one of the 3, to be honest with you. But there are options outside of those top 3 quarterbacks if we need one. Again, at wide receiver, who knows what kind of regression you might have with Adam Thielen, but I'm not overly worried about skill position. We're still looking for a guard, so at this point, Matthew Jones right now is the only projected first-round guard. Definitely will keep tabs on him. Skoronski plays tackle, but he also got recruited as a guard, so we have an option there depending on where we finish. I think defensive end is another big one, so between Van Ness of Iowa, Harvey from Miami, Isaac from Penn State, you have Miles Murphy, Jalen Redmond, Jeff Coate, even a couple later round guys, but if we could hit on an edge rusher to find the guy that can play on the other side of Daniel Hunter, that would be important. Edge rushers for sure. Outside linebackers would be nice, more so traditional linebackers. So Sewell, Campbell would be big ones. Nolan Smith, Drew Sanders, Funa from Oregon to get someone that can play that right outside linebacker spot. Rest of the secondary is not too bad. Might have to worry about the depth trade with Woods at safety, even though his protection does drop off. Could be a BPA, just happens to be a safety. We might have to pull the trigger there. Conley from North Carolina, I'm very impressed with him. I think he's one of those guys that that's something you get in a C4 draft class, wherever the Madden share figures its shit out. Something like Conley. Not a lot of people are talking about it. Anytime I watch North Carolina play, this guy is an absolute beast. And he could, is it ever too early to start thinking about maybe who the hell's going to take over for Harrison Smith on the back end of this defense? So a very interesting draft class, but just given the fact that I have no idea where we're going to finish, it's tough to start to project and get excited about prospects because we could have a top 10 pick. We could go on a deep playoff run. I have no idea. All right, so we got Mike Zimmer with another opportunity to take a corner from star to a superstar. Carlton Davis is coming in here, and we're going to be very optimistic that much like Danzler last season, he is going to be able to hit and go up to have another superstar, and then we just don't have to worry about our corners at all. And it's only probably a matter of time. But someone like Elam might go up Dev, Carlton Davis. Not going to get all the Dev traits. Okay, upside down season. Lions had 1 win last year. Now they're top of the division. So just good to know that this rebuild is whose line is it anyway? Nothing matters. Nothing makes sense. It's all fictional. It's all made up. Points don't matter. Lions are 7-2. Maybe it's just their turn to get the round. But it's time to talk about contracts here, week 10. We're not out of it. Could still finish hot. This is roughly where we were last season, and we went off to win the freaking Super Bowl. So, interesting. Okay, we'll start with the line. We'll start with the guys that I want here long term. So we have Bradbury, a 3-year deal, get him till he's 30. Got him locked in. Irv Smith, I think there's definitely a guy we can develop there. Let's get him 4 years. Keep him for the remainder of the rebuild. Thank you. Dalvin Tomlinson, only looking for a 1-year deal at 28. So let me be 29. What about 2? What about a 2-year deal? Will you take that? Yes, he will. Then we have Madison. We just don't need 2 running backs. Unfortunately, at this point, it's just the nature of the beast. Kirk Cousins, that's actually not a brutal contract, but I think that's going to be the same contract at the end of the season. So let's just see if he has another, hell of a second half, finds a way to get this team in the playoffs, has 30-plus touchdowns, and then hell yeah, I could give him another 1-year deal under $15 million. Our brothers want to you live. DJ Wanham, normal dev defensive end, looking to get up to a star dev, very attainable, and we might be able to make the playoffs here. Last week against the Packers, so last place in the division, we win this. I have no idea how it's going to shape up, so plenty on the line. Silver linings dev trait, best case scenario dev trait, and playoffs. We got the playoffs somehow. Kirk Cousins again. I have a feeling because we're 8-9. The stats aren't going to be great. And then Wanham, I mean, I'm not going to say DJ Wanham being like, what, he's probably 72 with a star dev is going to be enough for us to maybe just outright eliminate wanting to draft a defensive end. But certainly helps. Look at the stats here across the league. Insane year from Derrick Henry, 2,200 yards, 24 touchdowns. We have number 2 and number 3 for interceptions. 6 picks Elam, 5 for Cam Dantzler. Mike Zimmer is an absolute genius. Kirk Cousins sucked, so we don't have to pay him anymore. That's okay, sucked. It's relative. We weren't winning a lot of games because of Kirk Cousins, but we weren't losing games because of Kirk Cousins. That's not $30 million bucks. We getting, I said last year, we did obviously had some injuries. We started with real stats in year 1, but year 2, I need Dalvin Cook to play like a top 5 running back. Those are top 5 running back numbers. 1,800 rushing yards, 16 touchdowns. Great year for Madison. I mean, he's probably going to go off and become an RB1 for someone. Happy for him. 1,200 yards, 6 touchdowns for Jefferson. 8 and 5 for Chark. 6 and 6 for Thielen. Again, just wasn't a prolific passing attack. I'm happy Jefferson did eat. 129 tackles, 3 picks for Eric Kendricks. Very happy with that. We had 12 sacks, Daniil Hunter, 6.5 Tomlinson, 5.5 Pierce. Wanham, that's a solid year. Not amazing. The fact that we got him to go off a depth trait, 14 TFLs, 5 sacks. He's a 70. At this point, might as well just keep feeding points in the power rusher. 75 star. That's, what is 24? We're probably not going to draft a defensive end. We can continue to grow and develop that guy for sure. But the interception, 6 picks Elam. As a rookie, 5 picks Dantzler. Let's go. 2 picks Carlton Davis. We have a filthy secondary. Is it because we have someone like Harrison Smith back there? I don't know. But I love our secondary. Zeke Elliott is the MVP. Quickly in the NFC Offensive Player went to Zeke. Gets Shaq Barrett. Carson Strong, Rookie of the Year. Kyer Elam, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Didn't even see what his depth trait was. It's probably star. For the rest of these awards, nothing too crazy. But we made the playoffs again. We're going to act as if this is the final year for Kirk Cousins. Trying to run it back. Trying to win 2 Super Bowls. Trying to make a dynasty here for Minnesota. And let's just do it live, man. It all starts here against a very good Niners team. Very good offense. They got Trey Lance. And one and done. A lot of positives, though. Not bummed out again. We have that Super Bowl. We playing with house money at this point. 30. It went to overtime. That's how close it was. 37-31. Trey Lance. Our secondary was dominant all year. You give up 5 touchdowns to Trey Lance. Kirk Cousins was okay. Our rushing attack was okay. Huge games. DJ Chark justifies the price tag in free agency with that. 10 catches, 2 touchdowns, 100 yards for Jefferson. Defensively, Eric Kendricks, 11 tackles. We had a couple, didn't get enough pressure there. Carlton Davis, another free agency signing. Big game for us, had interception, 6 tackles. It's unfortunate, but again, after we won that Super Bowl, I kind of highlighted that we got that Super Bowl. It's got to go down as a successful rebuild, but I feel like this is going to be a team that's going to have a rebuild in the rebuild so that year 4 and year 5, we can get back to Super Bowl glory. Now, got to find our quarterback. I'm actually kind of hoping at this point, because we're not going to be in range to probably draft one of those top guys, that there's an interesting guy in free agency. So recap from year 2. Wow. That Super Bowl champion football team, 26-14 over the Chiefs. Kyle Hamilton wins the Super Bowl MVP. Good for him. Kyer Elam outright winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. Excited for that. I guess, as any disappointing season, there's always silver lining potential for dev traits. Kyer Elam winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. I didn't know his dev trait anyways. All we knew was hidden dev, and it is star. He did not gain a dev trait for being NFL interceptions leader and Defensive Rookie of the Year. Seems like that's good enough for a dev trait. I don't know enough about the game and coding and all that stuff to how to say what I properly articulate what needs to happen, but that shouldn't happen, right? There has to be something that goes, yes, this is there also should be things that don't have the Chargers drafting a quarterback when you have, a pretty good quarterback. So, controller disconnected. God, my controller right now is just absolutely sick that my guy didn't get a dev trait. Did get a dev trait there on Eric Kendricks. He's up to an X Factor, which is dope. Devin Lloyd, hidden dev. It is star. Have we I feel like I haven't drafted anybody yet from my custom classes that's had better than a star dev. So I may look nice that I'm getting lots of hidden devs, a lot of blue devs, but I don't think I'm actually getting like superstar talents, which is fair, balanced, also a little annoying. Let's get into the offseason. No more Kirk Cousins, I don't think. So we're going to have plenty of money to spend. Really, really hoping there's an interesting QB in free agency. Can't do it. I can't do that. I cannot, will not do that. I'd rather, at this point, go 1 year with Kellen Mond. There's only a 2-point difference between him and Kirk Cousins. And then, you know, to each their own. I am spending money, though. We are going to be spending big money. There's only really one upgrade that sounds amazing, and that would be obviously Quentin Nelson. We kick either him or Ezra Cleveland. Probably Ezra Cleveland because it's Quentin Nelson. He can play where he wants, but we'll add him to the offensive line. Look at the rest of the position. I mean, there's Jair, but we don't need a corner. Kind of could be looking for a linebacker, but again, we're at a spot where there's just like a lot of veterans, and where I don't know where our roster is going to be at, even though we're only a year removed from the Super Bowl. We're still at that spot where it's like, should we be signing veterans? Should we be trying to get guys for short term? I also want to try to balance players that I'm not signing every rebuild, like Cole Holcomb. We've previously brought him in, I actually think, in the last rebuild. So I like keeping that parity to my rebuilds. So it's just like, you know, it's a light free agent cost, but also if we end up landing Quentin Nelson, that's like 98 overall. That's one of the highest free agents you can hit. I was really hoping for another quarterback. But hey, I mean, let's see what Kellen Mond can do. He was drafted to be the successor, probably, right? So hopefully we land Quentin Nelson. And, I mean, it leaves quarterback open in the draft if one of them falls. And if not, I mean, hey, you know, we're playing with house money at this point. Still got 3 more years to find another QB. I had easily the biggest bid for Quentin Nelson, and he said, nah. He said, nah. We got $70 million. Unreal. Like, what did he take? I think my offer for Quentin Nelson was $58 million. So he took $10 million less. Okay, Big Q. Okay, what I want to do here is because we're so hurting for a quarterback, we're going to skip until there's only one QB left on the board, and I'll see if we can make a pick. Like, make a trade. Pick 2, Houston. Grabs DJU. Pick 3, the Atlanta Falcons. Select Bryce Young. Like, I will offer 2 first-rounders to come up here at 4 and get Anthony Richardson. They take that? Sure. Will they? They might. They might not. The Saints, they stole away Quentin Nelson. What do they got at QB? Are they going to draft a QB? They just got Carson Strong, but the algorithm, maybe that's the reason why they would trade back from pick 4. Pick 19, pick 20. It's accepted. 2 first, able to go up, make a deal, and get, I believe Kyle Trask's words was the LeBron James of college football. He's very good, very promising. Anthony Richardson, Florida Gators, 6'4", 240, 89 acceleration, 86 speed, 95 throw power. Let's go. Next up, I want to grab an outside linebacker. We have Nick Herbig from Wisconsin. Feel like interesting fit. Hidden dev, back-to-back. Let's go. We got our linebacker. Here's our draft recap after trading 2 first-round selections to go get, I'm trying to think, like, again, I don't want to be shot and firing at Kirk Cousins, but like Anthony Richardson, like, who's the last super hyped Vikings quarterback? Like, super hyped. I didn't feel like there was a lot of hype around Christian Pond. Like, was it Culpepper? Dante Culpepper? This is the best guy they've had since Dante Culpepper in terms of, like, upside, in terms of maybe this is the franchise. 95 throw power. Action needs a lot of work right now. He's more of an athlete than he is a quarterback. But at 6'4", 240, I think we're going to be able to find a way. Drafting, I mean, hey, the hype is real. You're trading up 2 first-round picks for a redshirt sophomore. You know, maybe there's going to be some growing pains a little bit. We got Herbig in the second round, 72. Actually, you know what is worth it? We just traded 2 first-round picks for, regardless of what the dev or the positional value is. He's only a 71, which is kind of low. We got Nick Herbig, outside linebacker from Wisconsin. He's happy to be here. 73 scheme fit. Back-to-back hidden dev linebackers. We got Devin Lloyd last year, Herbig this year. Herbig kind of stylistically, maybe a little bit more of Anthony Barr, at least in terms of like play style. We got a great pick here in the third round. Osiris Torrance, small school player, but 71 on the offensive line. Might be able to compete as a rookie for that right guard spot. We got Braxton Jones at tackle, Isaiah McGuire at defensive end, Trey Sanders, the running back from Alabama, coming in here as RB2. But again, maintain that pace. You're always looking for at least 2 hidden dev players in every single draft class, and we got it. And hopefully we have our QB of the future that can win us another Super Bowl. So now that we kind of are into Madden Generate draft classes, need to start to prioritize scouts that fit the positions I think we might have to improve. So you always can use defensive ends. I'm looking at safeties just for our tier 3 scout. Guys got to replace sooner or later, probably Harrison Smith. I don't know if we're going to get the full 5 years of the rebuild. Plus, you also have free safety. Woods has been playing well, but limited ceiling. Got middle linebacker again, pretty much just classifies all linebackers here. Got Marcus Colston, Saints, great at wide receiver. Same kind of ideals for Wilkerson for Harrison Smith, the aging Harrison Smith at wide receiver with the aging Adam Thielen. Could be, a little bit of assistance in terms of scouting the wide receivers. And lastly, we have a corner expert. So for year 3, here's how our squad is looking like. Anthony Richardson under center. If you're going to have a rookie quarterback, having Jefferson, having Adam Thielen, DJ Chark, and Dalvin Cook as your skill position players, at least your main skill position players, that is going to be very, very conducive for a favorable environment for a young quarterback that needs help. Same with the O-line. The outside of right guard, going with the rookie. Most of this offensive line is solid. Would have been huge to have someone like Quentin Nelson back there. But I'm optimistic. This is just a very good offense to throw in a young quarterback that and expect some level of success early on, and ultimately just a great base for his development. The D-line, outstanding. Wanham going up a dev trait last year makes it look that much better. Lloyd Kendricks, also new superstar X Factor. And then Herbig, our second round pick, make that linebacking core look pretty damn juicy. Harrison Smith, hold on to his rating fairly well. Xavier Woods, we already know, plays a lot better than 79 normal dev. Carlton Davis, got Dantzler, have the rookie of the year, have the interception leader, Kyer Elam. I mean, we struck gold already, even though he's not gold yet, with a Gator in the first round. Hopefully the same can come here with Anthony Richardson. I as a Gator fan, I want this to be amazing. I want to win 5 Super Bowls in 3 years. That's what I want to do, okay? That's what I want to do. So let's take a look at this generated class. What are we working with here? What kind of prospects at positions that we want to get better at? I've already identified wide receiver could be one, just because we're a little bit light outside of the first round. Let's at least just focus right now on the first rounders, and there's a lot. We got 10 guys that could potentially sneak into the first round. Probably more slot guy, more of a slot wide receiver, and obviously it's tough just to look at a player's size and be like, well, that's an outside guy, that's an inside guy, because now in today's NFL, you have the big slots that are, they're built like tight ends, like this guy, Raheem Keaton from A&M, 6'5", 230, that, there's it is what it is. So we're going to have to scout these guys. Hopefully, we actually get some valuable information. Right guard, it's really any guard at this point. No first-round caliber guards at right guard. But on the left guard side, we have Jeremiah Prince, top 5. Thad Wiggum from Notre Dame, another first-rounder. I could absolutely jump over one of these guys, especially if they have a chance at getting a dev trait. Defensive ends, could always go defensive end if there's a BPA, just because want them. Again, I think there's maybe a slight limited ceiling there, 75 star dev. But it'd have to be like a can't-miss player for me to want to jump all over that. Could get younger defensive tackle, Michael Pierce, Dalvin Thompson, not getting any younger. We have Cummins, LSU, Darren McBride from West Virginia, first-rounders. Pretty happy with the linebacking core, not too worried about it. Even though, Kendricks is going to get older. The fact that he got X Factor, maybe that helps with his regression just a little bit. But there are 3 first-round caliber middle linebackers on the board. I'm a little bit more so going to focus on safeties. We have Andres Peralta from USC, first, second rounder. Hopefully we can find a diamond in the rough here. And at strong safety, we have Dylan Johnson from Oregon. So it's not a particularly elite preseason kind of class right now, but hopefully we, again, can find a couple gems through our scouting teams. Now, we've got the first game of the season. We may have lost to the Chiefs. Tough assignment. But it's always encouraging when your rookie quarterback gets NFC Offensive Player of the Week in their first game. 23 of 36, 350 yards, 3 total touchdowns on the game. That's a great start to his career. We have a breakout scenario here. I'm not going to open the tandem because that's glitched right now. But looking for our breakout player. What do we got? Defense. I couldn't carry us to victory. What does that mean? Pretty good pass to throw my way. I'm going to guess it's Justin Jefferson. It is. Because, of course, those things can't load. I don't think we're going to get it, but we might as well bring it live. There's a chance, especially with Richardson slanging it like that we can find a way to get an X Factor. But also, probably not, because I guarantee I'm going to open this, and let's see if they fixed it. I've spoken with devs, and I said that this is a glitch, that anytime an offensive player gets a dev trade scenario, they will hit it. Now, I'm going to be optimistic. They figured out this bug, and in this 35-30 victory, we have 200 yards. We hit the parameters for Justin Jefferson to truthfully and honestly earn a dev trade. I guarantee we hit it, right? Because there's no way they just continue to have one of these must-have new features. All right, I'll just knock him back down a dev trade, but I will take the 10,000 XP for the inconvenience. So coming over our bye here in year 3, we're great in terms of team overall, 87s across the board, but a little bit off the mark in terms of record 4-5. But with a first-year quarterback that is a little bit of a project, like Anthony Richardson, I wasn't expecting immediate success. This is going to be a very, very expensive window for us. But let's start on the low end, work our way up. We have a lot of money to also look at extending players. So let's get DJ Wanham here. Give him something like a 5-year deal just for the lesser cap hit. Get him locked in. Interested to see if he can continue to develop. I think Ezra Cleveland, pretty much anyone on the offensive line, I want to get them here as long as possible. And giving him a 5-year, kicks that cap hit under $5 million. Dantzler, who's been absolutely one of the surprises going up superstar dev. Want to keep him in the building. We got Kendricks. I don't think at this point he's replaceable. So we're year 3, 4, 5. So get him for the remainder of this rebuild. 2 years. Get him locked and loaded. We have Michael Pierce at D. I think, honestly, again, with that rating, somewhere like a 2-year contract, I think he should hold on to that rating at 32 years old. Daniil Hunter, awesome, amazing. Again, very expensive, but I think it's well worth the risk. He's been producing very well in the sim. And that's not always the case with top-tier elite edge rushers. Sometimes they just suck for some apparent reason. And then we have Justin Jefferson. Let's give him 6 years, $124 million, because he is just downright amazing. X Factor, glitched or not. That's how you finish the season. 6 in a row. 6-1 to close out the year. Some tough games for sure. So that's positive going forward for the team, that they were able to rally like that. Win the NFC North with a rookie quarterback under center. We got Detroit in the wild card. Should be a very winnable matchup. We have a lot. I'm not clicking that because that sometimes forces players into retirement. That's stupid. Like, I've had that happen to guys that are obviously we saw with Khalil Mack. So again, I always just stress, fellas, if you want to do it realistic, most of these things that you can interact with, they're not very realistic. So if you really want, if I was doing the Eagles franchise, I would be a little bit more inclined. But again, you just, I don't even want to check it out. I don't want to check it out. They don't happen if you don't check it out. I'm not going to throw names. I had literally someone that worked on this game said, just don't interact with these things. So take that for what you want. Look at across the league here. I like seeing Justin Jefferson up there. He had a hell of a season. No interception leaders for us, which is a little bit on the outs. We've had interception leaders for the first couple years. But look at that. Top 10 in passing yards for Anthony Richardson. 29 touchdowns, 15 picks. Again, it's a growing pain type year. Made the playoffs. That's all that matters. 15-15 for Dalvin Cook. On the receiving front, 1,500 yards, 103 catches, 7 touchdowns for Justin Jefferson. Just shy of 1,000 yards for DJ Chark. 8-8 for Adam Thielen. It's not too bad. I'm really surprised we're not getting the tight ends involved in this offense. Defensively, Devin Lloyd led the team. 119 tackles, 4 picks. 114 tackles, 4 picks for Eric Kendricks. It's just a disgusting defense. 9 sacks, 18 TFLs for Daniil Hunter. I would like to see maybe a little bit more production there, but it is what it is. 3 picks for Carlton Davis, Elam, and Harrison Smith, all with solos. Number 3 offense in the NFL. That's good. MVP went to Patrick Mahomes. In the NFC, Offensive Player of the Year went to Russell Wilson. Defensive Player of the Year went to Aaron Donald. Offensive Rookie of the Year went to Anthony Richardson. I love seeing that. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Noah Sewell. Okay, we're normally seeing that. The Offensive and Defensive Rookie of the Year going at it in the first round of the playoffs. For individual awards, Don't think we're going to see much. But the kicker, Tyler Bass, let's go. We got somebody winning there. So, as always, let's just, until year 5, even though we had the Super Bowl, I feel like just this is the way to sim. I'm getting already better results this rebuild than I was just going in and playing the moments. And we get a close victory. Was it a pretty victory? 17-14 over the Detroit Lions. Cool. Sure, Anthony Richardson protected the football there. They still have Jared Goff under center, so I'm glad we did not lose to Jared Goff. Adam Thielen had a touchdown, 4 TFLs there for Danielle Hunter and a sack. He was dominant, 2 sacks, Michael Pierce. Carlton Davis with an interception. And we are continuing on here to take on the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC Divisional round. Got to be a tough game. They're pretty damn good. 92 overall offense. We strike magic. Oh, 42-6. Glad we didn't have to sit through a super sim of that. I mean, we're a young team. 2 picks. That's what's going to happen. 2 picks, Anthony Richardson. I bet you Zeke ran all over us, which he did. 3 rushing touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb, 95 yards. Devin Lloyd, tackle machine. But we were just on the field way too much. Thompson and Diggs got the interceptions as we crash and burn in year 3. But still plenty to be happy about. Plenty to be positive about as we go into this year 3 offseason. The retool for year 4. End of season recap. The Cowboys made the playoffs and they lost. They got absolutely destroyed, which makes me feel good. 49-21, the Titans win their Super Bowl. Ryan Tannehill is the MVP. Good for him. One of the better redemption stories, I suppose, in the NFL. For us, it is about seeing if anybody went up depth trade. We have an upgrade. I assume it's going to be for Richardson. But looking at our squad here, we got nothing on offense. We got Richardson goes up 1, or we have 1 point to spend. Sure, we'll pump it into improviser here, I guess. I don't know, man. I feel like depth trades are hard to come by. But up to, with the boost, 80 star. From 70, 71 to an 80, plus 9 points in one season. That's reasonable development. That's acceptable development. Devin Lloyd went up a dev trade to superstar. I love seeing that. Herbig was a hidden dev rookie. He's only a star dev. But I'll take Devin Lloyd going up dev. Fuck, hell yeah. No F-bombs in this one. For free agency here, I was really hoping that maybe there'd be like a super intriguing safety. McKinney's there, but there's always some competitive bids, and he's not that big of an upgrade over Woods to get in like a pissing match to try to get the upgrade there. We have Delpit again. It's just a lot of other teams interested. I would really need someone to like pop off for me to want to bring him in. I have Shaq Mason at right guard. I was thinking about it, but there's already some pretty big bids there. And Torrance, I mean, let's not get blinded by the dev trade. 22, already up to a 75. Pretty high ceiling. So I'm gonna just this free agency period stick to a promise that I made when I said I'd always have a fullback on the roster. And actually, it's a pretty good fullback here at Ingold, 79 dev trait, scheme fit, only 28. And let's do the rest of our damage in the draft. All right, so we didn't have our first round pick because of the Anthony Richardson trade. So I was kind of hoping there would be some of those guys that might have had a second round grade that'd be slipping to us. And unfortunately, there's not much. So we're kind of picking at the scraps that's left here at safety. Not a lot of knowledge on these guys. We have Jamarcus Tyson, fantastic last name, who looks pretty good. I feel like we go Tyson with our first pick because I feel like you're just going to find a safety here. And both these safeties that are still available at strong safety are intriguing from an athletic standpoint. Vaughn Kirkpatrick was 3rd in the 40, and then tops in the 3-cone, the 20-yard, which is really what you want to look for in terms of an athlete. And then we got Tom Tyler from South Florida. Not a lot of scouting done, kind of a pick in the dark, but 6'3", 4. This actually has to be our pick. I don't know, like it's one of those things. He might not be there in the 3rd round. 6'3", 209. You're that kind of athlete. I'm going to bite. And we're going to bite hard with that hidden dev trait. Picking blind. Hell yeah. That guy's going to be stick. So I just looked through all the wide receivers, trying to figure out, piece together if there's a stud of the bunch. And there's nothing that's really ticking off all the boxes. But I do want to bring in a wide receiver again because, Thielen's getting old. This guy's interesting. DeMar Hoover from Clemson. They just produce wide receivers. 6'4", 235, and he ran a 4.44. I'm just generally intrigued there. But this guy looks really, really good. Byron Noel. A catching for the key rating. Combine, top 10 in 40, top 10 in 3-cone, top 10 in the 20-yard shuttle. I'm just, at this point, I'm going to not go for the freaky nature. I'm going to go with the guy that we have a little bit of scouting, a little bit of information on. And knowing that his 93 acceleration, 92 speed, and A catching for the class, No depth trait kind of stings, but he's definitely going to be a good player. I mean, the freaking nature's still there at this point. Why not? Why not? I can move him to tight end if I need to. This is actually like usually one of my favorite things. Once we get to the generated draft classes, is this draft recap because you get to find all the overalls at once. And we had a couple normal devs. We had a hidden dev in there, but like again, you just look at it. We got to get better pass defense. Everything else was acceptable. 27th pass defense in terms of yards per game. Luckily, we've been able to survive on turnovers, kind of like the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, it's not amazing. It's not terrible. Tom Tyler, I mean, for a guy that was just, third round, 3rd round, 72 hidden dev, 6'3", 88 speed, 86 acceleration, 84 hit power. Looks solid. Looks like he might not be ready this year, but year 4, year 5, maybe if we get someone regresses a little too hard. Noel, the wide receiver, looks great, 74 right now with all the boost, normal dev. 89, I mean, obviously you get an audacious +5 catching because of our OC, but that's a great pick. Hoover at 67. Those are actually very good stats. Like, how is that only a 67? Must be his route running. I guess medium and deep route running. I honestly want to do this. I mean, we did re-sign him, but it's not like Irv Smith has been crushing it for us. What if we move this guy to tight end? Goes up to a 71. I'll take that. And then I'm not gonna lie, I simmed it out. I don't know. I mean, maybe sometimes the sim hooks you up with a hidden dev here and there. But my draft board was depleted at this point. Wasn't really anybody that was ticking all the boxes in terms of scouting. But I'm really happy with those 3 picks. I'm lucky that we got a hidden dev in Tom Tyler. So we're starting year 4, and here is what everything is looking like. Offensive line all pretty much comes back, remains the same. We got some pretty good overalls there too, man. Darrisaw to an 84. Brian O'Neill almost a 90. Moved Hoover, the wide receiver that was built like a tight end, to tight end. He looks solid, but he's right firmly behind Irv Smith. The skill position players, DJ Chark, 86, Dalvin Cook, 99, Justin Jefferson, 99. Adam Thielen is regressively still going to be fairly solid out of the slot. And the big question here is just the continued development of Anthony Richardson here at QB. Probably should make him number 15 if I really wanted to, but we'll just keep it at 4 because it seems to be working at 4 because he had a pretty damn good rookie season. Defensively, again, front 4 remains the same. Linebacking core remains the same, except we have a fresh new Detroit for Devin Lloyd. We have Harrison Smith and Xavier Woods there at safety. We drafted, what was his name again? Tom Tyler. That's not actually a great name, but 72 hidden dev. So excited to see what that dev trait is. I have found when I get hidden devs on safeties, they tend to be better than any other position in terms of not being just a star dev every single time. Dantzler, Davis, and Elam make up one of the best ball hawking secondaries in the NFL. And here in year 4, with not much roster turnover, firmly expecting another playoff run. Okay, before we even do anything, we're 1-7. We know year 4 tends to be weird and rebuild. We can't beat Texans, who I think are the lowest overall team. Like literally, and this is just, I gotta change it back. I know we didn't hit it. I like just hitting this though because I get the big XP boost, and I feel like that's deserved. But there's no way. I don't even. Let's check it out. Did Justin Jefferson get 200 yards receiving or 4 touchdowns? If he got one of those, he gets to keep his X factor. I mean, we did put up 28, so technically, if he scored all of them, that'd be pretty cool. I don't think that's the case. He didn't even get 100 yards, and he went up to an X factor. So, I mean, that's the state of this season. Contracts, year 4, it's always just like, what are the guys we want for the remainder of the rebuild type deal. We got Chark, who's, I think he's been solid. I don't think he's been amazing, but I think he's been solid to be a guy that, we can have for a 5th and final year and maybe find someone that's an upgrade over Thielen at this point. I think Darrisaw has been very, very good at left tackle, developing nicely right on cue. I think we have so much available salary. If Thielen wants to just take that money and stay, why not? It gives us a little bit of emergency in case there's no other wide receiver that we can add as an upgrade. I mean, he's still a pretty good wide receiver 3 to have, especially in that slot with that superstar ability. So I think we'll just let Tomlinson go because he definitely has regressed down there just a little bit. But as you can see, we almost had $50 million that we're going to be able to make a big impact signing if there is one for our final free agency period. To close out the season, we ended up finishing tied for 2nd and only a game out of the NFC North. There's just something about this is a second half of the season team. We had what? 1 win. I mean, Richardson did not play particularly great, which is a little bit worrying. But whenever we last talked, well, how many wins do we have at that point? Come on, I don't want to see this shit. Team schedule. We were at the bye. We had one win at the bye. And then we won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of our last 8. Which, hey, you know what? We can finish on that momentum. If we're going to have a bad year 4, I'd rather be 7-1 in our last 8 games and carry that momentum into the next season. Look at the big picture here. Geez, Carson Strong in Nevada, the quarterback under center for the New Orleans Saints, crushing it. In terms of the rest of the stats here, I'm not seeing anything insane. Brandon Smith, I suppose, getting 22 sacks is kind of crazy considering he's a traditional 4-3 linebacker. So for the year, Anthony Richardson's second season in the NFL is not bad, but he hasn't really exploded like we would hope he has. 3,900 yards, 29 touchdowns, 10 picks ain't bad. 1,600 yards, 21 touchdowns for Dalvin Cook, very good. 1,110 for Justin Jefferson, just shy of 1,010 for DJ Chark, 9-4 for Thielen. Again, just for whatever reason, Vikings playbook does not find a way to get the ball to the tight ends, but we're stacked with wide receivers, so that's fine. Devin Lloyd led the team in tackles, 12 sacks for Danielle Hunter. Not much else behind that, though. That's something we have struggled is finding someone else that can get sacks on the other side of Danielle Hunter. 4 picks for Carlton Davis, 3 for Dantzler. Interceptions remain fairly, acceptable for the team. With the 22nd ranked offense in the NFL, not really what we're looking for. MVP went to Lamar Jackson. We have, for the NFC, I don't think we're going to have any Minnesota Vikings, but it's always worth checking just in case there's nothing there. So, crashed and burned, but we finished 7-1. That's only think about that and roll into year 5. And look at the Super Bowl recap. 41-20, the Carolina Panthers got themselves a Super Bowl with Shaq Thompson getting himself an MVP award. Happy for the Panthers. I think that's their first Super Bowl in this save, so that would be their first Super Bowl ever. Congrats. Looking quickly at our squad to see if anyone went up dev traits. I actually do need to go down to Mr. Justin Jefferson and knock him back down to a superstar. I forgot to do that earlier. I don't really think that mattered that much. You think that's what it was? You think because I didn't immediately correct his dev trait, like him being an X factor is what took this team over the top? I wonder. You gotta wonder because it aligned with that time. Defensively, let's see. Do we have anything? No one went up a dev trade. Lame. So for our final free agent period, because we're, it's realistic rebuild, we're not going to spend all of our money. We're going to try to make realistic moves for a team that's right on the bubble for making the playoffs. So even though we did bring back Adam Thielen, seeing Jalen Waddle hit the open market, I want that. Jalen Waddle, Justin Jefferson, DJ Chark. So we're coming to the top bid, but there are some competitive bids. I won't be shocked if we missed out on him. Then I'm just thinking we need someone to play next to Michael Pierce, so why not just go all out on run stuff, because our run defense was pathetic last year. Between Eddie Goldman and Michael Pierce, you are not running the ball against this Minnesota Vikings front. So we got Eddie Goldman, and much like Quentin Nelson, there's just something that free agents do not want to come to Minnesota. Okay. So we'll go back into free. It's our final year, and that's just too much money because we missed out on Waddle. So I'm going to look at Ryan Jensen, and if we can land Jensen, we can then kick Bradbury to one of the guard spots. So just slowly improving the offensive line a little bit. And then we have no free safety. I was planning on just drafting one. But we got Quandre Diggs is still here. He does have the superstar ability, so let's see if we can poach him away from Seattle. Nice. Able to get both Jensen and Diggs. They know they want to hatch onto this horse that's on their way to the Super Bowl. Missed it on Jalen Waddle. Pretty much got to look at BPA. And we got Carlos Bankston, first round grade wide receiver out of North Carolina, 6 feet, 180, fastest 40, second in the 3 cone, second in the 20. Then his pro day, absolutely crushed it. Let's do it. Fuck, no def. That's insane. That's probably the best athlete, though, I've seen so far at wide receiver. So really, after the wide receiver, it's the year 5 draft. It's just trying to brag that I can draft good players as opposed to actually landing players that are going to be true difference makers. Rest of the draft wasn't the best. A 69 D tackle in the 3rd round. It's not bad. Dubois from Georgia. Got a 66 safety from Delaware. But this is the pick. He's great, man. Just missing the dev trait. Carlos Bankston up to a 78 right now. He's going to be competing with Thielen for snaps. 96 speed, 94 acceleration, 85 catching with the bonuses. 96 agility, 84 jumping, 95 change of direction. Great return, man. Just electric playmaker. Man, at some point, I'm getting ready to show you guys the freaking roster. Thielen must have retired. I was like, those mothers, this stupid ass computer must have cut him somehow. He didn't retire during the retire screen, but I mean, I guess retirements can happen. I think I have career clock on. So I guess it makes the selection of Bankston that much more important. Other than that, man, the offense is back. We had Jensen at center. We kicked Bradbury to right guard. So that is an outstanding offensive line. Really need Richardson to, I mean, he got 29 touchdowns back-to-back years since he's been in the league. Would like to see him take a leap forward there. Defensively, pretty much the exact same guys coming back. We added and tried to improve the run defense by bringing in Eddie Goldman to play next to Michael Pierce. Dude, just gigantic human beings. And then we got Diggs there at free safety. A little bit more of a veteran presence here. This is a team that is absolutely with 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6 guys on defense that are like, this probably is going to be their last hurrah. And on offense, I mean, not so much, but maybe Jensen. Hopefully we don't start, 1-7 and then finish 7-1 or something stupid like that. We need to go on a run. I want to win our second Super Bowl. And then year 5, 12-5. I think that's might be our best, if not second best overall record throughout the 5 years, which I'm very happy with. Did not get a first round bye, which is a little annoying. 12-5 is usually like you start talking and, that's bye territory. But the Carolina Panthers earned the first round bye in the NFC, so we have to run the gauntlet here. Again, we have that Super Bowl in hand, which is terrific. Might as well actually trigger this. One last hurrah. It's our final year. Who is it? Who got 1 year left? Oh, I literally just thought this was going to be something where it was Anthony Richardson. Like, Coach, I think I'm going to hang out. So they're talking about Harrison Smith. So it's fired the team up, plus 10 for all players. I think that's what we need. Looking around, Anthony Richardson, second, actually showing up there, the passing leaders. 4,900 yards, 44 touchdowns. That's not what we've had so far this season. Not what we've had so far this rebuild. Second in yards, second in touchdowns. That is, I always eliminate year 4 for the most part. Year 4 always sucks. It's like that Panther cologne from Anchorman. Year 4 is weird 100% of the time, 80% of the time. But the first year as a rookie was good. But the growth in Anthony Richardson from years really 1 and 2, 29, 29. I mean, the yards kind of similar to 2023, but the touchdowns are drastically improved. Taking, nothing else is still threw it the same amount. His completion percentage is up. Was it Banks? I don't really know what happened here, because the running game wasn't like we got away from the running game. Those are still very consistent numbers for Dalvin Cook. Almost 1,800 yards, 18 touchdowns, 1,500 yards, 11 there for Jefferson, 11 and 12 for Noel, 9 almost 3,000 yard receivers. DJ Chark chipped in 8 touchdowns on 968 yards. Defensively, Devin Lloyd again kind of took over that role from Eric Kendricks as our tackle machine. Sacks are not amazing. One with 8.5, 9.5 for Daniil Hunter. Our interceptions, 4 for Dantzler, 4 for Carlton Davis, 3 for Kendricks. Not crazy, not our best defensive year by any means, but we finally have that QB under center. That's exactly what we need. MVP went to Dak Prescott. Anthony Richardson coming in at number 5. Dalvin Cook at number 8. I think that's the first time I've had any of my players make the MVP race, let alone 2. In the NFC, just skipping through here. Wow, McCaffrey. I don't think we're going to have anybody. No award winners. And we have to run the gauntlet. Okay. And we take on Philadelphia. Okay. Shouldn't be too hard. I don't think. Shouldn't be too hard. So because it is year 5, we already won our Super Bowl. I'm not going to play all the games, but I feel like we will play the moments and then hop in and try to help influence, especially if things get a little shenanigan. This should be an easy win for the Vikings. I was about to say the Eagles. I mean, they're an 81 overall team. We're almost a 90 overall team. We're just different area codes, different weight classes. This is a heavyweight fighting Conor McGregor. All right, I don't care how good the Eagles might think they are. We just got too much for them. And they are punching above their weight class here. I mean, this year pretty much will confirm, though, that, the way that we have been doing it, which is not going into the Super Sim, just kind of simming on the outside, letting what happen. That's definitely the way. First and goal here on the 7. To make a little bit of a play here. Just going with their freak of nature quarterback. He is that. Very much a freak of nature. Pull one back. Need the defense to get a stop here, which they do. Let's tie it up for him. Okay, we're at 2nd and 9 on the 30. No timeouts. Philly has Jair Alexander. That's probably a big reason why they're doing the things they are. But look at that right there. I don't know. That looked kind of like that was Devondre Campbell's man. Justin Jefferson. That's not the assignment you want to draw if you're a linebacker. Here we go. Let's go, baby. Go, 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 go. Oh, no. Little one. Got time. We got time. No worries. No worries. Ice in the veins. He's been there, done that. We have just a monster dual threat. We're not going to throw it in harm's way. We're going to get a second rushing touchdown of the game. You can do that when you're 240 pounds and you run like a 4.4. We got a chance. DJ Chark, Jair. I don't know if I really want to challenge that, but in a straight line, maybe. Step out of the pocket here. Oh, can we get that to X without having it be a turnover? We sure can. We sure can. So how happens you have a 99 wide receiver? We got a 2nd and 9. Always want to keep it with the QB keeper if we can. Oh, they got the spy. Oh, he's in 2 toes. Philly should have never kicked the field goal. You never give, you don't give Anthony Richardson, a playmaker like that, a chance to win in overtime because you know he's going to do it. Jameis Winston. Thank God we disposed of them. The Vikings are going to the NFC divisional game. And here in the divisional round, we draw Trey Lance and the San Francisco 49ers. Love to see my team really just win without me. That'd be cool. To just be like, hey, C4. That's what always you want. Like, that's how you know you made a super... Actually, no, I take all that back. What am I saying? I want to be like, logic states you want your team to go out there and win a rebuild, and like from a sim, because then it's like, oh man, you built a team that Madden, through all of the various beep boop beeps underneath the hood, they think your team's the best, and therefore you're going to win the Super Bowl. But then we just saw year 1 when our team was the worst win the Super Bowl, that like it doesn't really make sense. Fuck. There's my 1 F-bomb per video. 4th down, let's go for it. Bankston in the slot. He's so fast. Maybe that's where we want to go. I mean, there's a linebacker on him. And he can't find a way to make a play. Oh, there we go. 4th down. There we go. They get it. The computer did it. Ties it up at 14. Defense holds them to a field goal. And we turn the ball over. We can still win. We need some Hail Mary magic. And of course, the guy with 96 speed that we just drafted, not out there. Oh, wow. Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. DJ Chark, turn back the clock. Defense, don't F this up. Oh, this game. Shall we do it again? He caught it, and that's a face mask. We're going to have one more play. Oh, man, this is too much pressure. 1st and goal on the 4. Game can't end on a penalty. Let's do smash. Let's be highly considerate of a QB keeper here. Go, 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 go! Let's go! NFC Championship game. Let's go. Our defense tried to screw the pooch. And Anthony Richardson said, I put it all together this year. We're not losing. Okay, NFC Championship game. Now it's time just to, let's sneak a peek at the rosters here. Let's do a little bit of homework. Panthers. They were very good. They were the 1 seed. How did they become the 1 seed? Well, they have Sam Darnold at quarterback. McCaffrey, DJ Moore, Brian Edwards, Marquez Callaway, Michael Mayer, Baby Gronk at tight end. Okay. O-line is okay. Akwamu was their big draft pick in year 1. They got Brian Burns is up to a 99. Derek Brown, 92. Riddick, 90. Shaq Thompson won them the Super Bowl MVP, I think it was last year. Secondary, Dante Jackson, Horn, the big dogs. Chin's a 90. You know, it's a strong team. It's not an elite team. It's not a scary good team. I think I like our quarterback more. Therefore, I think I like our chances more of winning. Just for once, I want to go third down alert, red zone, touchdown. Touchdown Vikings. We got one. First half, Minnesota couldn't hold on, and they were able to get a go-ahead lead, but we're able to go right into the red zone. We'll come in here on this third down. Have they watched tape? Do they know that we're just going to try to keep with our quarterback? Guess they haven't. Guess they haven't. Tie it up 14. On the 4, we punch it in. 1-score lead. There we go. Tied up 21. These are two really good teams, man. They're two heavyweights in the NFC this season. They hold us to a field goal, and then they score an instant touchdown. Then we score an instant touchdown, and then they turn the ball over. So much just happened. But at least it was them screwing the pooch and not us for once. 368. That's exactly right there. The kind of stat line, sim stat line we get out of our team this year. 368, 3 touchdowns for Richard. He's a brand new man, and the Vikings are going back to the Super Bowl. So the best player on the freaking planet gets a little upgrade here before the Super Bowl. He's playing like a 91 overall, I believe it. 44 touchdowns. Looking like prime Dante Culpepper. Just got +1 throw power. He can throw the ball over the mountains. We got a little bit of Super Bowl media day, I suppose. As it is set up, Lamar Jackson against Anthony Richardson. How much does this help? Sure, it's significant. We've been here before. We've won a Super Bowl. We'll look for our second Super Bowl of the year. Actually, I probably should have picked the other option because stat points at this point are no good to me. Taking a look at the Ravens. What have they done to get to this point? Obviously, you can just see their team ranks there if you wanted to. That's just more. They got Lamar, J.K. Dobbins, Marquise Hollywood Brown, Mandrews. O-line is good. Defensively, ooh. They're not, again, kind of like the Panthers. They're not unstoppable. Got a good roster, really good roster. But, I mean, look at this. So it's the number, I guess, if you're looking at big picture, it's the number 2 offense against the number 4 offense. They do have the number 3 defense. And we have the number 15 defense total. Unfortunately, it looks like, yeah, obviously our number 30 pass defense kind of hurting us a little bit. We have top 10 run defense. I mean, look at that. They have the worst passing offense. So, like, that kind of cancels each other out. I like our chances to win our second Super Bowl, and more so for me, as a Gator fan, I want to get Anthony Richardson that Super Bowl. We've yet to win 2 Super Bowls in one rebuild, so we have a chance to make some history today. We don't need all the window dressing that has before the Super Bowl. Let's focus purely on our job on the gridiron here today. And we kick a field goal, trade field goals to open up. They got Justin Tucker. That's not a battle we're going to win. Third down on the 16, 3rd and 1. I think it's time for the first. I don't think I've ran the ball since I've been on the sticks. And of course, it's got to bring me in, take us to the 2-minute warning, because this is what they always do. Richardson hates it. I love it. That's why I like him. He's probably like, man, I wanted to snap the ball. Now we got to go to the 2-minute warning. Why are we wasting all this time? 3rd and 1. Whoa, slants cheese, baby! Slants cheese! I am not good at throwing slants this year. If you've watched any of my main series, Pink Slips, Eagles, that felt pretty good. First touchdown of the game. What happened there? They're not going away. But this feels like a win. What happened at the end of that half? Why are they not going away? Why? They made that closer than they needed to. Probably should have waited to see Anthony Richardson hold the thing. Like, why is this, like, there needs to be, like, I think you can't skip. That just shows you, you know, we had a 99-yard touchdown from Dalvin Cook. Dope. I like that. Why is it just you have to sit through all the nonsense to get to the ceremony? It should just be a separate thing. Anthony Richardson was amazing in our final Super Bowl. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And we did the pageantry for Kirk Cousins win the Super Bowl, so that is what it is. Insane game, Dalvin Cook. He's getting MVP. 195 yards on the ground, 99-yard touchdowns. Good. That was one of the greatest plays in Super Bowl history. 4 TFLs, Michael Pierce. They could not run the ball. You take away the run from Baltimore. Things look amazing. So shout out to Anthony Richardson. 2 Super Bowl victories here at the Minnesota Vikings. That was all because you guys in the comments voted on the team you want to see in the Rebuilds. So with that, we end this video. Let me know what team you guys want to see next for the realistic Rebuilds. It might come out on the weekend. I'm not sure how my weekend's kind of shaping up here. I think I might have a busy weekend, but if I can, very good chance if I will record another realistic rebuild, which will be the most replied team in the comments here. Thank you guys very much for watching. If it's always your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Trying to get our way up to 150K. We're 500-ish subs away, so that'd be dope if we can hit that sooner than later. Smash that like button if you enjoyed. Love to hit 1,000 likes on this video. Helps with my channel and the YouTube algorithm. And I'll see you guys back on the next one. Should be a new Eagles franchise video dropping soon, so I'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching. Peace out.